Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg and Elon are supposed to fight. It's this big, huge, funny thing where they've both confirmed they're like, yeah, I'll fight him. I don't care.
Speaking of Elon, have you noticed at night all these drones all over the sky?
So he over here is being tracked by the CIA. Me personally, I don't go outside after dark.
I think he's been drinking from his father-in-law's Kool-Aid. Have you seen the ninjas in the tree?
We're back on another episode of the Outlaw Way Podcast. It's me, the boss, with Nacho and Cheeto here, and we're having a ducking good time. And to elaborate on that, we're
there's freaking ducks
surrounded
everywhere
by small plastic ducks in the room. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but
I don't know if you can see that. Well, you can on YouTube, but
yeah, I mean,
these little bitty ducks,
super small
everywhere.
ducks. They're like the size of a penny, I would say.
We apparently have an employee that has ducked us.
We've been getting ducked pretty hard, apparently.
Tell you what,
Nacho, I feel like you probably get ducked more than anybody around
no, that's
here.
fucked. You're mixing up fucked and ducked.
I do get a lot of ass.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
no, that's not the duck
Well,
I
welcome
was
to the
talking
Outlaw
about.
Way Podcast.
But I'll tell you what, that randomest shit that makes me fucking happy on a daily basis. Like when I showed up today, there's just a random French bulldog walking around here with a gold chain on.
That's Mr. Tuh.
Mr. Tuh.
Yeah. They couldn't use Mr. T. It was taken.
Oh, I see. A copyright infringement. There we go. But yeah, he's just running around. Does he also have a tack vest on?
Yeah, they say he's
the
a rescue dog, or what do they call it?
A service dog.
A service dog? Okay.
What the fuck is he servicing your
The
ankles?
floor with his
Looks to me like a tactical pimp.
Sweet Jesus. He's got a fucking giant gold chain on, a tactical vest. He's having a great fucking time. But it's always that little random shit that don't make sense. It just makes your fucking day better.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
And one of the big things when I go to a bigger city that just makes me absolutely have a great fucking time is those random ass people that beg on corners, right? They're everywhere. The little grifters. What are they called?
They make your day.
No, there's certain ones. The ones that do shit for the money.
Oh, the performers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
We
performers.
used to have
Like
one around
Fremont
here.
in Vegas?
Yeah, so like the...
We used to have
I'm not
one
talking
around
about
here
Fremont.
he was they called him Flip. He'd come up like, hey, I flipped for a quarter.
Oh.
He done back flips, front flips.
See, now
like,
that is the shit that I appreciate right there because that is cool.
Fremont's good, though. They got some, they got some
but
half-assed stuff,
Fremont
but they
is
got some...
professional stuff, though. Like, I like to see a man who I know probably slept under a bridge last night juggling bowling pins that he stole.
So you would have liked to seen the guy that it was out here with a shopping cart, a crescent wrench, and a mirror, I think, and he was trying to figure out how to put it on his bicycle. I got on
that
video.
man sounds like as motivated to me.
How he's motivated.
And why would you not want to look behind you when you're crossing the road? I mean, honestly, you got the car, you got four wheels, you might as well have a rear view.
Right,
I mean,
because
it's
there's
the law.
Taking
other
baths in the
crackheads
fountain.
driving cars.
Yeah, there's other crackheads.
They're out here taking baths in the fountain. There was one dude sitting on the top of the fountain out there talking to Jesus.
Hey, when
Had
you
a
gotta
whole
when you gotta talk
conversation
to
with
Jesus, get closer. Just climb up on top. It's easier that way.
So
What
last
you doing,
week,
buddy?
Look at this thing. I hope somebody's watching on YouTube to see this character here.
What you doing?
that's the tactical pimp right there.
My boy,
I mean,
he's
a
ready to go.
full tag vest, gold chain. Oh, goodness. He's having a great time. I think he's about to leap from couch to couch.
Service dog.
Yeah.
Hey.
He is pure muscle. Look at him.
Crowley.
Pure muscle and balls.
Yeah,
Look at y'all
I was gonna
balls.
say, he
What you
walked
doing,
off.
buddy?
It's like, look at them muscles.
I'll
You'll
tell
be
you
popular
what.
on this one, ain't
I
you?
think he flexed them.
Yeah, you come in here.
Yeah.
You fuck your ankles up.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's got them pit bull lock jaws on him, don't he? Shit fire.
He'll mess you up, but he's scared to jump off the couch.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Oh,
Wow.
damn. I love it. But either way, it's the little shit that does make me happy
I think he
like
just
that.
farted.
Right in the
Over there,
fucking
buddy.
mouth.
Over there.
Yeah, he came over and shit on shit.
That's good shit. Good shit.
That's awesome.
Like when you're driving down the fucking interstate and you see those funny ass signs on the side of the road. Them big ones like right after the Christian Community College sign. There's a sex store sign like 100 yards behind it.
Yeah. The
it's
Lion's
the little
Den.
shit that like that
Lion's
makes
Den.
me just.
The Lion's Den.
Yeah, the
They're
Lion's Den, yes. And they always put the Lion's Den sign right beside something it has no business beside. I mean, it's crazy. The one, what is it in Shreveport? It's Children's Hospital, physical therapy, sex store sign. Boom, boom, boom. As fast as you can fucking see them.
They got the one going to. They got the one going towards Rayville.
The shit y'all notice.
Something with a cross and something or another, evangelism or something, and right behind it, boom, Lion's Den.
I'm telling you, and they do that. I swear they do it on purpose. Whoever is their marketing guy is sitting there like, oh, yeah, boys.
Have you got to some of the marketing stuff on they used to do on Twitter, but now they're doing on Instagram? It's Wendy's and
Threads. You talking about Threads?
Them dudes are hilarious.
So they dropped, what is it, Instagram's version of Twitter, and it has been going crazy.
Yeah, it has.
Like, really, I got on there and I just read some of the shit. People are getting a little wild. They're using this new app like a personal diary and not expecting everybody to read it because it's not big yet. Well, it's getting pretty big pretty fast.
Well, there's a new app, too, called Kick or Kicks or some shit.
I have no idea.
There's so many.
There's so many so fast.
I don't know about either of those.
No, well, Threads is like new Twitter. And I downloaded it and I've been on there, and it's crazy. Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg and Elon are supposed to fight. It's this big, huge, funny thing where they've both confirmed they're like, yeah, I'll fight him. I don't care.
Speaking of Elon, have you noticed at night all these drones all over the sky?
So he over here is being tracked by the CIA. Me personally, I don't go outside after dark.
I think he's been drinking from his father-in-law's Kool-Aid.
Have
you seen the ninjas in the
a few
tree?
drones here and there.
Yeah.
But they're getting more and more. Now there's 4,000 of them. It's Elon Musk. It's
Where the fuck are you seeing drones?
You're
not talking about
Starlink.
Fucking Starlink?
Drones?
Starlink.
What are they doing?
I don't know if he's looking for signals or providing signals or what, but they look like little drones, and they got the green and red lights, and it's all over the internet. People are asking, "What are these in the sky? What is this in the sky?"
Well, we've lost Cheeto,
Elon
guys.
Musk.
We're gonna have to fill this seat over here. He's losing.
I've seen it a couple times, but I ain't seen it as much as it's all over your feed when you're looking on your feed.
What I'm worried about seeing is if Elon Musk and Zuckerberg actually fucking
They ain't
fight.
actually fight. That's just for
They
money.
both confirmed through Dana White, and they're scheduling a date soon, boys. Have you not seen Zuckerberg's
If
personal
that
account?
happens, that'll break pay-per-view.
Do you
I was
know?
going to say that'd be the largest pay-per-view
Do
ever
you know?
in history.
Okay, so look, if nobody knows, look up Zuckerberg's Instagram,
Let's
his
look
Threads
this
account
up,
stuff.
man.
He has a fucking picture of him being trained by the last two MMA fucking champions. And Zuckerberg is not what you think he looks like, homie. He is fucking ripped and he looks lethal. Okay?
Before you said that, I would have said that Elon would take him.
No. Not if you see him.
Bizarre feud explained. Elon versus Zuckerberg. The cage match between Elon and Zuckerberg.
I'm telling you.
Maybe no joke.
Yeah, so look. So Zuckerberg has what was the last two MMA UFC champions or whatever?
Oh, man, they switched so much, I don't know.
So he is standing with one of them on each side of him, and he looks like he fits the fuck in. It is not okay. Okay?
So
it is
Elon-
wild.
Oh, they agreed to a cage fight.
I'm saying this is not it. This is not a drill, okay?
Musk and Mark Zuckerberg agreed to hold cage fight. Two of the world's most high-profile technology billionaires.
Zuckerberg is going
let's
to beat the
see.
fuck out of him.
Musk posted a message on his social media. Catch up cage fight with Zuckerberg.
I never
involves
thought we would be
Facebook.
having this discussion about those two people.
Me neither, and that's what the crazy
in
thing
a Vegas
is.
octagon.
But
Let's
I
see.
will drop the money on the
You know what his
pay-per-view.
username is? The Big Zuck.
Okay, Elon Musk turns 52 later this month. Also tweeted, "I have a great move that I call the walrus, where I just lie on top of my opponent and do nothing." He later tweeted short videos. Okay, so let's see. 39-year-old Zuckerberg
Here's the picture of him right here.
is already mixed martial arts.
He's in the middle. Tell me he wouldn't whip your ass.
Damn it.
Tell me right now that he probably would not whip your ass because he would smoke mine. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was. Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't seen Elon with a shirt off.
I don't think I have to know that this is his competition.
Wow.
Homie's got a 10-pack standing next to two professional MMA fighters, and he's blending in.
All right, they're just talking
If
shit.
that truly happens, I mean,
They're
I
just
can't-
talking shit at
I
this
can't
point.
imagine anybody that wouldn't drop the money on the pay-per-view.
Oh, I would definitely buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they're just talking shit at this point and building it up, but both of them have confirmed that if Dana White gets involved, the UFC gets involved, puts it on, they will step in the cage with each other.
Watched a podcast yesterday of Dana White saying that he's looking for a venue. He's
They're saying
probably
Vegas. They're saying Octagon in Vegas.
He said he's going to build one. He said he's going to build a whole fucking venue. He's like, because this fight is going to be so big,
Okay, this
he's
one
going to be
says
able to
the
sell
cage fight-
so many
Yes.
seats.
This one says the cage fight is on. Meta CEO spotted training with UFC champions.
Yes, he is training for this. It is not a drill
Highly
anymore.
anticipated cage match against Elon Musk to join forces to promote the two UFC.
How have I not seen this?
I don't know how you've not
I
seen
hadn't seen it either, but good luck. According to TMZ,
So
he is
speaking
training
of,
with Israel. Oh, he's training with. Oh,
I have been wrapped up and not paying attention to anything. I can't get
He's training with
past.
Velosky?
This is the only thing I've been doing.
I can't get past Biden signing the bill for lab-grown meat. Like,
Hey, you know what?
not eating
Isn't lab-grown meat the same thing as what's that? The Miracle Whopper?
It's the same. It's veggie burgers.
Is lab-grown meat or is it vegetable?
It's vegetables. There ain't no fucking meat in it.
It ain't no meat. They say it's meat.
So that's just vegan meat.
Yeah,
They're
it's vegan meat.
smearing some stuff on a piece of glass and then growing a big chunk of meat and selling it.
Well, technically, it's just like a vegetable then.
Like, my question is, what makes it quit growing?
What makes it quit growing?
They slice it into a steak, you buy it, eat it, and it metastasizes to the side of your colon and grows a giant beef tumor.
I wonder if they could inject that somewhere. There's possibilities here, Nakia, that you're not looking into.
I'm not eating it.
Oh, I wasn't putting it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What do you eat? Where do you get your meat from? Where do you get your meat to eat?
Oh, I was finna let somebody else eat my meat because I was finna get some injections, baby. If it's gonna keep growing, I had some ideas about some lab-grown meat.
According to this,
Okay.
Elon Musk's mother has stepped in and canceled the fight and told Elon Musk that he can rely on his verbal communication instead of physically fighting.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Elon Musk's mom. We want to see this fucking cage fight.
I don't know.
And if he lets his mom talk for him, he's a bitch.
He's down.
He is a bitch. He is a grown-ass man with like 30 kids.
Yeah.
He needs to just be
He's
like...
not necessarily a bitch because he's got billions, but he is a pussy.
Oh, he's a bitch for that. Yeah, he's a bitch for that. No matter how much money you have...
You think you can't be a bitch if you're rich?
I would
Well,
be a
you
rich
could buy
bitch.
your way back from being a bitch, you know what I mean?
If you have Elon money, you can be whatever you want to be.
Back
If
to
I
the
woke
meat-
up and want to be a
the
caterpillar...
meat thing here. You can't bypass that shit because it's population control. Why else would they be growing fucking meat and buying up all the land and everything else if they don't want to control
Everybody
everything?
always says we're overpopulated. I just don't think that's true, honestly, because I drive here to come down here and do this podcast, and I pass 58 miles of straight fucking trees and nothingness to get here. We're not overpopulated.
Think about everything you have ever been told,
Yeah.
and then think about the things that they tell you are not good or they don't want you to do.
Yeah.
That's the shit you're supposed to do, and the shit they told
Yeah,
you is the shit
right.
that's
Gentlemen,
wrong.
we're going to have a cocaine delivery here in 37 minutes.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
No,
Because
nobody
they've
ever-
told you not to.
No, nobody ever told me not to.
But they've impeached him, which they impeached Trump. Didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
They now have generals saying that they're going to arrest Hunter and they're going to arrest him.
Yeah.
The quid pro quo thing.
That's crazy.
All this bullshit. And what was it the other day when the submarine was going down? They moved some trains.
Yeah, they
moved
did all kind of crazy
oh,
shit.
man, you know, so
But either way, but back to this fucking overpopulation of meat thing. You know, I would never say that we are overpopulated at any point. I would say that we're just overcrowded in areas. Because
Well, that's the
honestly,
problem.
that's
You're
all
right.
it is.
that's the problem.
That's all it is. People amass to one point
Yes.
and complain because there's so many people there.
No, they
when
put 'em
all
there
they
on
have to do is
purpose.
spread out.
They put them there on purpose because that controls your election. Like
Yeah,
take
but I mean-
Louisiana, for instance. They put all the population in New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And they make it Democratic ruled, and then they vote. There's more people there than in all the rural areas. And even though the rural area won the vote for whatever side, it's settled
And
in
you know,
Baton Rouge
people
and New
say
Orleans.
Baton Rouge, New
So New
Orleans,
York,
huge.
Los Angeles,
Same
Chicago.
thing, California.
Right.
I ain't never been nowhere bigger than fucking Lake Charles, ever. Okay, in
Yes, you
Louisiana.
have.
No, I haven't. Not in Louisiana.
Maybe. Well,
You when you get into Lake Charles, you were in Lake Charles for 3 fucking hours.
you're in there for a minute, but
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Baton Rouge and New Orleans is bigger.
I mean, by fucking map size maybe, but
But-
by capita and shit going on, Lake Charles be popping.
Okay, but take for instance, go
I
look
mean
at San
goods.
Francisco. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's
or no,
packed.
let's back up. Something we actually can touch. L.A.
Yeah, LA. Yeah.
Zach was in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks back. He did a rolling shot of the sidewalk and stuff coming into an area that was full of homeless tents and
Oh,
just
yeah, the village and shit.
okay,
Yeah.
that is in all the major cities, and they're calling it homelessness.
Yeah.
And they're part of it. They don't have enough housing.
Yeah.
They're packing these immigrants and stuff into these cities so they can vote and they can do all this stuff, and they have nowhere to put them. Hotels are full. This is full. That they're in fucking tents down the damn.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, I ain't never kicked a tent life. I like living in a tent. I used to do it in the summer with my dad growing up.
Do you
We'd
like
go,
living in a tent with 500 tent neighbors?
if
Would you want to live in a tent in a big city? That's the difference.
I feel like I would be happier there than in
He's already said he
Carlsbad.
likes the big city. Like, you know,
I think I would be happier in a tent in LA than I would happier in a tent here in Monroe, for sure.
well, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
I go to the beach in L.A.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm going to the mountains or something. I ain't going to L.A.
Yeah, I ain't going.
No. And then see, if you're living in a tent in a big city, you're going to survive. You're going to be all right. You're living in a tent in Monroe or Crossett, you're going to die.
Flip it around. Now you're in a tent in a big city and it's the end, shit's coming, or you're in a tent in Monroe, it's the end, shit's coming. You're going to survive in Monroe.
I'm going to survive in a big city.
That's going to be the
There's
first
a
place
lot
hit.
more people there that don't have guns than there are in Monroe that don't have guns.
There's a lot of people scrambling to get all the resources too, and they're gone faster.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, you think about this: total apocalypto thing, zombies, nuclear, whatever happens. The amount of supplies in a big city will be easier to get to and use because more people there probably can't protect themselves compared to a smaller town like we live in.
I don't know.
Well, so it's like this, right? You walk into the bottom of an apartment complex.
No matter what, they're not going to buy the potted meat and the Vienna sausage, so we can grab that shit up. You know?
Well, next question. I think we've asked this before on other podcasts, but
Yeah, 9 inches.
at what point do you decide you're going to invest your time and money into putting up food and water? And what point do you do that?
5 years ago, I could have gave you a solid answer. Now, I can't give you a solid answer because it's a game.
It's kind of
They're
one
playing
of them
a
things,
fucking game.
You know, it's one of them things like
Next week, there's the big fallout. It goes to shit, and we're going to be going, I wish I would have put some shit up.
I have some stuff.
you'll
put up,
always wish you had more put up. You'll always complain about things you didn't do and stuff like that if that time were to ever come. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you got the money and the space and the availability to do it, do a little bit. If
Well,
you
even
want to
if
do
you
more,
have money, even if you have money in the space,
yeah.
I don't
do you
know,
spend it on
man.
that? Like,
I mean,
I
it's,
really don't know because, all right, take for instance, Corona.
yeah.
Corona came out. Everybody knows
I
what
ain't heard
happened.
that word in a while.
Well, everybody knows what happened. What happened? Now they're coming out and saying it's all bullshit, and they've proved it's all bullshit. It wasn't deadly. It was made in the lab. Fauci was behind it. All this crap.
Well, it was
the government's
deadly.
even coming out and hanging Fauci, making him the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to do anything about it, ever.
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton. Nobody's going to do anything about it. Nobody.
It's all
It doesn't
passed.
matter what it is. So,
Right.
is there ever going to be a martial law? Are we ever going to hold anybody accountable for anything they've done to put us into the spot to where we're at martial law? And we
I
have to do
believe
it?
wholeheartedly, eventually, it has to happen.
But
I
when-
mean, eventually.
It has to
well,
happen.
it's going to
But
happen
is that
because
in,
history
is
repeats
is that
itself,
in
5 years,
80
20
years or
I-
800? You know what I mean?
right.
I think if they're planning it, if it's a government thing where they're going to be the ones to flip the switch, it's going to be after our generation is gone. It's the only shot they have. So they have planned for that.
I just feel like it's going to take so many years for that to come around.
Why would it take so many years?
It's already
You gotta
been
have-
a lot of them.
You got to have a big collapse. You got to have a big rise.
You only need two things to collapse:
What's that?
your financial and your power.
Yeah.
They EMP your ass and shut the banks down.
Well,
it's done.
we've had a bunch of financial collapses. What in the last 20 years?
Meh,
I mean,
but not really, because the dollar never stopped moving. And in all
Yeah.
those times, the dollar was the number one currency across the world, across the globe.
Yeah.
Now it's not. Now it's slowly not becoming the transfer currency anymore. So,
I just
but that's a whole digital thing, and that's a whole nother deal. So,
and the digital thing just dropped out. So like Bitcoin and all that stuff, it's practically useless now. It was hot for like 4
minute.
years, and now it's like you either got it or you
I think
don't.
it's going to be very hard to replace the actual dollar. There's so much
You
because you don't
can't-
know
you
what
just
everybody
can't.
has. You don't know how much cash you have. You don't know how much cash you have. You don't know how much
That's
coin.
the thing. You can't replace the dollar because that's the universal thing that everybody has. It would take 40 years of constant effort to replace it, and then only you would just at 40 years probably
There's some
have
old,
both.
there's some old girl in a travel trailer somewhere that's got 17 cats and $10 million worth of pennies.
Probably.
I'm telling you. She's got a moo-moo on and everything. It's a big story.
I don't know though. There's a bunch of crazy shit out there. You think about when
So we got lab grown meat.
you got lab grown meat now.
We got a government that we have no idea what's going on.
I think it's a
I
soap
feel like
opera.
that's always been like that. Nobody ever really knows what's going on unless you dive off into it too deep.
I still think it's a soap
And
opera.
then you're one of those guys.
Then you're one of those
Yeah, you got a
guys.
tin hat on. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, big farm, big tech,
Yeah.
big corp, they run the country.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a head.
You know, I read the
So-
other day that private business owners, like the entrepreneurs, the big money people, own 27% of family-owned homes, like apartment buildings and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that now. When 10 years ago, it was like 4%.
Well, they had these two groups,
They
the
bought
Vanguard
everything.
group, and there's another one. I can't remember what those ones
No,
called.
the Vanguards, aren't they?
Blackstone or Black.
You're talking about BlackRock?
BlackRock. So you got BlackRock and Vanguard.
But doesn't Vanguard own the big ass train station?
Well, those two conglomerates, which are made up of a lot of big tech, big people.
Yeah.
They own everything. They own the majority of Tesla. They own the majority of Walmart. They own the majority of this, the majority of that. I mean, so
BlackRock, literally, I can't find a company that you can Google that BlackRock doesn't own majority shares. Not a company, not anything.
one.
Not Coke, not Walmart, not
Nobody.
Nothing.
You freaking anything. I sit there playing with it all day one day. You look up any company and BlackRock owns majority shares.
Majority shares.
Hot damn. Hey, it just be like that sometimes, though. Somebody's got to be running it all.
Well, it'd be like that.
They
but then,
own the world.
But then DirecTV and AT&T decide to come together, and we got to have a hearing about it, and the government's got to get involved. Can these two big companies
So
come
I seen
together?
something else the other day. This is going down that rabbit hole, but I want to get one of the guys on the show. I want to question his ass.
Oh, who's that?
There's 3 or 4 guys that have been being interviewed lately that say they're from the future,
Nice.
like 2046, and like they've been interviewing, talking to them. I want to invite any one of those guys who wants to come on the show. We need to talk to him on a podcast.
Yeah.
He's probably been drinking a lot of Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Talked to Scott last night. He's going to come on the podcast when you get back from
Which Scott?
Lost Riders.
Scott Carney.
When you get back from
Orlando.
he's going to come drive down, be on the podcast.
He's got a lot of free time now. Might as well.
Yeah. Okay, so he's a safety man, right? On a ship. And I don't know I guess I can tell it because I told him I'd blast the dude. He said, yeah, I'm going to do it. So he's safety man on a ship. The CEO of the company he works for comes to the ship. He tells the guy what to do, what not to do, safely, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. The guy does a bunch of stuff unsafe after Scott told him what was safe and what wasn't safe. So Scott writes his ass up. Done. Lets him go. CEO says,
he should sue him for a wrongful.
well, an attorney contacted him and said, hey, we got a case. We got some shit here. Scott said, nah, I wasn't raised that way. I ain't going to be suing people. What I will do is sue them for changing the paperwork saying that he quit, not fired.
Yeah.
So, because he doesn't want fired on his stuff. But he said he's not going to sue him because he just wasn't. We weren't raised that way. You put somebody in the mouth or you went on with your business. You just sue nobody.
When I tell you,
But he has a case. He has a hell of a case.
Yeah, that is a hell of a
He
case.
has a hell of a case.
I would sue somebody so fucking hard.
You
Their
grew up in that
lawyers'
era, though.
grandchildren would fucking remember me.
You grew up on I-20.
Yeah.
I-20 has a billboard every 15 minutes for an
Injury
or
attorney,
a bankruptcy
yeah.
or an injury. I ain't never
right.
seen anything like it.
I mean, hell, that's the way of the world nowadays. I mean, honestly, if anything bad happens to you and somebody else's fault, you can go to court and get $1 million.
The dude got $1 million for the
that's-
Happy Meal.
If that
Yeah.
CEO
Did you know that? He got $1 million for the Happy Meal. He bought a Happy Meal, ate it, and he wasn't happy after he ate the Happy Meal. Got $1 million.
But there is some of those out there that you hear
I
about.
wouldn't be
that are
happy after
completely-
eating it either because it's lab-grown meat.
It
now.
may be.
See?
Hey, shit might be better.
No, it's not. It's not better.
I'm not eating.
It's not
We
better.
don't know, We don't know, A lot of people talked a lot of shit about cotton candy flavored grapes because they're injected with chemicals to make them taste like cotton candy. And me personally, I prefer cotton candy grapes over regular grapes.
Everything we eat's been injected with something.
Exactly.
Everything
Oh,
you
yeah.
buy from the store has got something.
That is why I grow my own cows. I want my own meat. I want
I
to know
wish
what
I
went.
could.
I want to know what went in
I
it.
just can't do it.
I want to know what
You
went
can't
in
eat your own meat or you can't grow cow.
Can't grow cow. Fuck that. Too much bullshit.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, fuck
It's
that.
literally a lot of bullshit. More
Yeah.
cow shit than
What
bullshit.
you should
but
do is let him raise cow. You buy meat
There you go.
from raising cow.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when was the last time you killed a cow?
It's been a minute.
Yep, see there? He ain't ate meat in a while.
Now he still got meat.
Since they passed the thing, I told my wife, you go to the store and buy meat. We're throwing it away. Don't waste my money on it.
But it'll be a long time before lab-grown meat gets in Walmart or Cash Saver.
You
or
would think,
whatever.
but they're moving at the
It's
speed of
there.
light, buddy.
It's
Yeah, but I mean, it's still at the end
Why
of the
else
day, it's
is
going to
Bill
have a
Gates
sticker
buying
on it.
up all
No,
the
it ain't.
farmland?
No, you don't think so?
there. I know it won't.
They got to tell you.
There's already right now so many laws that they're supposed to label on the meat.
Yeah.
It has never been regulated. None of them
You
are
know, they
actually
proved
labeled.
that
So
Bill
even if
Gates-
they say they got to, they're not gonna.
And you know, they proved that Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and all of them are agents of the government.
Oh, fuck.
They proved
I'll
that
tell you what.
a month or so wasn't out. Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland.
Oh, Zuck, I bet
as an
he's fucking
individual,
something.
that's not the individual. The government's buying up the farmland. So why would they be buying up all the land and then burning this shit or paying people to kill their crops or run their cattle off because they're bringing in all this fake meat and they will make money on it.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep. I don't know. I fucking. There's just.
So have we heard
all of
anything
y'all-
else about the submarine? Have we heard
Hold
anything
on,
about the
hold on.
submarine?
Oh no, it's all over.
To end the meat thing, I just want to say,
Yep.
y'all keep eating the store-bought meat, and you're going to have a tumor.
Hey, well, as long as it grows in the right place.
hey.
It's going to grow inside you.
We're gonna have a tumor anyway, from what I understand. So
Fuck it. Honestly, I'm just gonna try it out at least once.
I'm
I tried the Impossible Whopper, and it wasn't bad at all.
I'm not eating it.
Wasn't bad at all.
I'm not eating it.
I
I'm
tried
not
to-
eating it, John.
Did you look at it?
Yeah, it looked weird.
Well, saying, did you take it apart and look at it?
No.
Because if you'd done that, you probably wouldn't have ate it.
When I bit into it, I looked at it. I was like, it looks a little weird. Then I fucked it up.
I want
That's
my
good.
beef to come from a living cow. Like,
I'd rather my beef came from
something that
That'd
was
be
eating
nice.
grass.
But I don't know. But nothing happened with the submarine after last week. We talked about this.
No,
they
that
didn't
died.
find any parts or anything.
They died. It died.
So it was just about moving
The
all the
story-
bullshit they moved.
They pulled
and-
some pieces of it out of the water, I think, or something
but
like
I thought
that.
it would disintegrate or whatever. Why does
Oh, and there were still pieces.
The story was they moved on.
Yeah, they moved on.
nothing about
Wasn't
the sun?
interesting anymore, no.
It's pretty
No,
funny.
all their kids became billionaires, and they lived a great fucking happy life, and they've not been doing anything but blowing hookers since then, and it just is what it
Well,
is.
let's jump to
All
another
their money
subject.
changed hands.
Yeah,
Let's
fuck
jump to another subject real quick and go into the side by side for a touch. This new Polaris Suburban.
the Polaris Expedition.
Bad expedition.
Was it $55,000 from factory?
45.
45. Are
Okay,
you sure?
So if I'm right, in the
45.
state of Louisiana,
Yeah.
if you have a driver's side mirror, turn signals, it's street legal.
I know for many years, a lot of states, northern states, they get them legalized and drive them on the street.
It's very normal. Texas, you can do it.
I've always understood you couldn't get it done here. Now people are telling me you can. So I'd have to dig into
So
it. If you could, how many side by sides would we see on the road? And we don't see none.
I think it's just like
None.
a motorcycle. If you have a driver's side mirror and turn signals,
So-
I think you can.
Here's my thing, right?
Horn.
So in
Horn.
Texas, if it has doors,
Yes.
rear views, signal lights, brake
I
lights,
know you can
four
drive
wheels,
in
all
Texas.
that, you can.
They can't enforce doors
Oh, well,
because you can buy a Jeep or a motorcycle.
It has to have the ability to
falls-
has
put
to have the
doors on.
ability to have doors.
It falls under the same as a motorcycle
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
every state I've looked at.
So,
the doors are
I know in
not
Arkansas-
necessarily.
in Arkansas, pretty much as long as it has indicator lights, brakes, seat belts, anything like that,
You know
you're
what?
good to go.
I think one of the states, I don't remember what it was. If it does not have doors, you have to wear a helmet if they have a helmet
Oh,
law.
maybe. Well, you think about it. If you think about the side by sides, just a four wheeler in general. What about the Polaris slingshots? You know,
Right.
the two wheels in the front, one wheel on the back.
That's a motorcycle.
It doesn't have doors.
Correct.
You just sit down in that motherfucker. Most of them don't have
But
roofs.
it goes with motorcycle laws.
It goes with
so if
motorcycle
there's
laws.
a helmet law, you got to wear a helmet.
Yep.
But the new expedition, they got the ADV, I think it's called, with the
I don't know, but they're
enclosed
badass.
back.
I mean, they are.
They are bad to the bone. Just
You know,
Well, I
Casey-
thought they were bigger.
Spoke
but
with-
come to find out, they're the same size as
They're the
his.
same
so-
size as the
okay.
Ranger.
I spoke with Nick this morning, one of the engineers with Polaris, and he was saying a lot of people are actually talking about trading in their trucks for it. But
They're
he
badass.
said up north they prefer that. Most of them have a winter truck
Yeah.
that they only drive in the ice and snow.
Yep.
They're getting rid of those, buying the new Expedition
Mm-hmm.
because on the way to towns, he said there's always like you can cut across the lake
Oh,
and
yeah.
cut 10 miles off your trip.
It'd be so light, so easy.
And
Yeah.
so they're buying these Expeditions and they don't have to take the
know who-
roads all the way to work.
You know who just got an Expedition? We'll be seeing it in person soon. Casey with Doolittle, the trailer guy.
Did he?
He did. He bought one and ordered one.
Yeah, he ordered one.
LIB.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it in person, but at the same time,
I've seen one really good one showed up at a dealership
Yeah.
and the dealer done a walk around. That's the only one
I mean,
I've
it's got
seen.
full doors, roll up windows on a button, AC, heat, full seats.
Oh,
I mean,
the ADV with the enclosed rear.
yeah.
The back glass goes up just like my
Well, I
wife's
mean, it's
Jeep.
bad. It is a Jeep, pretty
and
much.
the rear seats fold down.
Yeah.
So it gives you that bed all the way to the back of the front seats. Like
it's
they're nice.
gonna be.
They're nice,
crazy-
but they are replacing a vehicle. I mean, you're talking about $45,000 from the dealership.
I mean, $45,000. You could buy 3 shitty Jeeps.
You could go buy a new base model Jeep for that.
Well, I was saying you could buy 3 shitty regular Jeeps, like
All right,
$10,000
it's
or
saying
$12,000.
in the state of Louisiana, it is not possible to register a UTV in Louisiana as street legal for reasons discussed below. However, it is possible to make a UTV street legal in Louisiana by registering it in another state. The resulting title, registration, and license plate will allow you to drive your side-by-side on the roads, highways, and city streets in Louisiana and beyond.
Well, I'll be bringing the X3 next week, boys.
So as long as it has, what does it say? As long as it has registration, a title, and a license plate in another state,
What about insurance?
it doesn't say, you can drive it in Louisiana. So if you go to Arkansas and register it, and it's got everything that
Which
Arkansas
technically you'd
requires,
have to have an Arkansas residence
P.O.
to do
box.
that. But
you can have a P.O. box, or we could all stay at John's.
You got a PO box.
I think in order to register a vehicle, you got to have a address. You got to have a proof of residency.
I don't know.
It's got to fit Louisiana's definition of a street legal vehicle and pass Louisiana motor vehicle inspection. However, Louisiana laws.
If it's registered in another state, it don't have to pass Louisiana
Yeah,
inspection.
that's what it says. It meets
That's what I'm
civil
saying.
affairs. Likewise, UTV.
Arkansas doesn't have inspection
We
stickers.
do not. Never will.
Louisiana needs to do away with them, but it's just a money-making thing.
It
that
really
they
is,
keep
and I
doing.
think it's for Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. Like
That's all it
Charles.
is. It's about
That's what
money.
it is. It's about money.
around here.
It's
You,
saying you can do it if you register in another state.
around here, you don't even have to take it and get it inspected. You just call somebody that has stickers and they bring you one. Like, I mean, seriously,
No.
there's so many of those.
True.
You just find the guy that has a sticker, and,
My thing is, man,
which
I
he's
don't-
buying those stickers from the state. He's
Yep.
selling it to you. The state's still making money. They don't give a crap.
I don't think that I would want to drive a side-by-side street legally that much.
Here's the thing.
Maybe to
It's fun to
Walmart
drive.
back.
Right.
Yes, it's fun to drive.
Not
It's cool.
full-time.
It's all that. You get fucking T-boned in a side-by-side
You're
by
done.
a truck.
You're done.
Exactly. That would be my thing. I would love to drive it. It's cool, all that. But if you get hit with
That's
it,
it.
boy, it's like being on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all that.
I mean, could you imagine driving down the interstate trying to do 65 in a fucking side-by-side?
With
You'd
boggers
blow
on
the
it.
fucking clutch out.
Yeah.
With boggers on it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about the design itself.
Yeah, but I mean, the
And
design
see,
is cool.
Have you seen the new X3 that Ken N's fixing to put out?
I had no.
308 horses or some shit.
Jesus Christ. I got 240 horsepower in the one I got, man, and it's enough. It's
telling
more
you.
than enough, you know.
This one's twin turbo, new body style.
It's
They-
not more
all
than
kinds of
enough
stuff.
to beat a girl in a drag race.
It is not. It is not. But those people that
You
I
just
was
gotta
drag
commit.
racing, I mean, they got 2 steps set up with a fucking 9-year-old girl driving and trans brakes on a fucking
And
side-by-side.
smoked John's
Yeah,
ass.
them- and then, but the thing is, when she got to the end of that thing, she went back around there and parked it. I kept driving mine, went and got fucked up the rest of the night because I can drive mine whenever I want to. Those are fucking race bikes they got.
That's true.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I will never understand why they let just straight up, souped up ass trucks, side by sides, anything in any race category that's supposed to be an everyday driver. Like I never get it. Like how you gonna put somebody in the right lane to race against me when they've got 3 open turbos sticking out of the hood with no rear plastics and one seat with 6 harnesses? Like she obviously doesn't drive that.
They're
ever.
looking at you like,
Well-
hey, you entered this? Okay.
Well, I
my-
entered the stock class.
Well, on a different note with the side-by-sides, question to y'all is, so we've seen the trend of the side-by-side mud rides getting nicer and nicer, people fixing their side-by-sides up better and better.
Yeah, fit in frame.
Does that stop? Is that just a little fad?
No.
Or are we going all the way to the Polaris Expedition, heat and air? I mean, it's got a
I
roof
think-
liner.
I think
It
the
is-
side-by-side world itself is going to continue to evolve as far as fixing them up and accessories and all that and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Chip, we're
But at
talking
the
about a
same side-
leather-topped
I know.
console.
At the same time, on the side-by-side world, you have to look at them as a whole. They have progressed from the Razor in 08, 07
Yeah,
to the Defender in 12 or 14
something like that.
to this Expedition now. Look at where they're going. They are positioning themselves to go directly at the car makers. They have completely sealed up this world. They are fixing to come after them. So the growth of side-by-sides, in my mind, it's blowing up.
So we do a lot of work. And we work with a lot of different companies, and we customize these side by sides, and we offer services to people. Do we go all out, start offering automotive paint jobs?
I don't think you can.
Like,
Because it opens up a wormhole that you can never fucking stop. Because
what do you mean? Whoa, back up. Can't what?
I just don't think you can, because at that point it's like,
Well, what can we not do?
well, your first customer walks in with a HD10 Defender and he wants some A-arms powdered and everything like that. Well, then the next guy walks in and he says, well, I have a 2024 Polaris pickup truck, for fuck's sake. And like, I need my frame done.
Okay.
Well, then you got to start to think about it. Like, what the fuck? This is brand new to Polaris, brand new to everybody else. Nobody knows how to work on half this shit because it hadn't broke yet. And they want you to take this motherfucker apart
and put any level lift on it.
and do some crazy shit.
They do it in everything.
They do, but
So
see,
you have to be the ones
My
to figure it
question
out.
is the market is it going to go that big?
I think so.
Are people going to build
I think so.
$100,000
I think it's
custom
another industry.
automotive paint? I mean,
I
some
think it's-
people have, but is the market headed there?
Yeah.
Are we going to see these side by sides at SEMA next year?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we seen them there last year, but I mean, I feel like there is a point to where age comes into a big role in playing it. Right now, when you go to a mud park in the South, it is, I would say, 60-40 adults, kids. There's a shit ton of people under 18. There's a shit ton of people over 18. This is a normal breakup. Then you've got your older crowd in your 40s and 50s, and then you've got the older crowd that's in their 60s. Well, right now, there's a lot. When we went up there to South Carolina, did you see a shit ton of kids?
No.
Because I seen a fuck ton of adults. Older adults in their 40s and 50s. I think it has to do with the area you're in and the age of rider.
Well, see, I think if you look at it from an age standpoint, you're missing a factor here. I think you're getting into it at 18.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're under 18, your parents are into it.
Yeah.
And you are getting the luxury of driving something your parents had. But from 20 to 60,
Yeah.
you got a 40-year run. That's why I was telling him earlier, if you look at history, late 80s, early 90s, you were having the transition from three-wheeler to four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Everybody was rebuilding the late 60s, early model trucks, and car audio was huge. You had competitions everywhere, all that. Now look at today. The transition to the side-by-side and the fixing it up, the car audio is huge, but it's in the side-by-side world.
saying. I think it's
and
gonna
everybody's
be-
buying the OBS trucks and selling the OBS trucks.
I think it's going to be region specific and especially age specific.
Well, I think it's region Pacific for the South and the Midwest.
Yep.
So you got a T right there, and it's going to be from 20 to 60. So your 20-year-old crowd right now, you're Jacob Jacks, you're all those boys.
Yeah.
There's a 30-year run here with them boys where they're going to be doing side-by-side.
Yep. But I feel like there's such a great divide as to up north, you're going to see
Up north,
Can-Am
they're
Defender
used-
Limiteds. You're going to see the
Right,
Polaris
but they're being
Expedition
used
with
for what they
AC&E.
are.
Yeah, and they're
Up
going
north,
to.
they're just buying them and using them.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to make a market up there so huge for stuff like that because they use it more up there. And down here, you're still going to have the Big Bear 300, the Honda 4Tracks, the Honda Rancher 420. Down here, little shit boxes will always be the top of the food chain because there's more young people riding and doing dumb shit that can't afford
Well,
a $50,000.
I see your
side-by-side.
four-wheeler becoming that young crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your side-by-side is becoming your middle age, so you're going to be late 20s, early 30s, into your 40s, 50s. That's where your trend's going to go.
Yeah.
But you're already seeing the trend of bigger tire, bigger rim. You're
Yeah.
already seeing the trend of other suspensions. You're already seeing the trend of the audio roofs, the custom paint jobs, all that.
Yep.
Now start looking at, they're doing upholstery. They're doing leather friggin' consoles, all this
I feel
stuff
like
to
you're-
where the manufacturers are now starting to introduce this stuff. That's how you know something is taking off. When a manufacturer like, say, Ford, they're starting to introduce their trucks with 22-inch rims.
People want bigger rims.
When you're seeing side-by-sides come with all your upholstery done and audio already in it and screens already in it.
Headliner. The headliner just blew my mind.
That tells
the
you-
whole roof is got a nice
That tells you where the
headliner.
industry
my wife's
is at.
came with a headliner.
That tells you where the industry is at, because if a company as big as Polaris or as big as Can-Am
Yeah.
is investing their money in bigger, better things for the side-by-side, there's an industry there.
Yep.
That tells you, that opens the door.
There's a lot that they could do, and they probably end up doing who knows what. But my wife, so she's got the AC and heated side by side, and she loves it. She prefers that. Me, I like fucking doors open, window
Well,
fucking wide open.
That's why you need
Yes.
both,
Yeah.
or you need one bike that can do both.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at for mine. Is something that can do both. But I've been through this before in car audio. I was in car audio when it was dealer direct. You had to go to a specialty shop to get it, all that stuff. And I watched it go from that to coming out of the dealership with Harman Kardon in it, Alpine in it, Rockford in it, flip down screens, mobile
Yeah.
video. That's when I saw the trend and it blew up. I'm seeing the same thing in side-by-sides right now. That's why I'm trying to
I
go
know-
that direction because I don't want to miss it twice.
I know probably 10 years ago, if you needed something done on a four-wheeler, you took it to an old man down the road that had a four-wheeler shop. And then back then, if you had a side-by-side, if you were lucky enough to get one when they came out and all that stuff, you were pretty much going to a dealer or somebody who really knew what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody and their mama has a mom and pop shop working on these things, doing full custom builds. They've made it so
at Taylor.
easy.
Look at Taylor at ES Mobile Audio.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how much product Thumper moves.
Yeah.
Thumper moves a crap ton of Rockford.
Yeah.
He is on their heels.
Yeah.
He's doing 6, 7, 10 roofs a week.
Yep.
That's crazy. I'm
Yep.
telling you, the trend is there.
Melissa's side-by-side is down there right now at ES Mobile Audio. in Texarkana.
Jacob's is down there. I talked to Jacob yesterday. He's bringing
is-
his here after he leaves there because he wants the headlights and stuff.
Yeah,
But
the freaking amount, just the sheer amount of stuff that you can do to these things now is unreal. I mean, people are getting C-deck floors, C-deck headliners, Starlight headliners, full audio roofs, full audio
y'all
dashes.
haven't gone yet, but take y'all down to Pro Box.
Yeah.
My God. He's got 100 employees down there, and they're building roofs as fast as he can
Yeah.
shove them out.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's. I'm telling you, the trend is going that way.
So speaking of all that, have you started releasing to your fans and all what you've been building lately?
No, not really. I'm getting there. I've almost got everything done.
A sneak peek. John Michael been working on his shop.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave it at the shop. We're not going to tell nobody no secret yet.
I'm pretty impressed with it, but
Have you seen the videos?
no.
I just see one clip of it.
I've talked to you 3 times and said, "Hey, send me some pictures of your shop."
I got
So you
one
turned
video
around-
right
Before
now.
they get
So
too
you
deep
turned
off
around
in
and
this,
sent
we're going
Chip
to wrap this up.
Yeah.
This is the Outlaw Way Podcast for the boss and for Nacho there. Either raise them right or they have 0 fucks. There's only one way.
Let's
The
see Outlaw
Outlaw
Way.
Way.